continuing from where we left off in part 3. Let's get straight into the action. No intro, none of that shit. You guys are here to see gameplay, and I'm here to give it to you. Alright, we got a hallway battle up ahead, and since we've scouted the battle successfully, we have no chance of being surprised. Oh, maggots. I don't like these guys. They probably don't like me either. You look at these maggots, you can see that they're completely immune to our stun as of right now. Unless we got a higher percentage chance than what we have now, it's unlikely. They're pretty resistant to bleed and blight, but they're not resistant at all to being moved around. So I think our best option here is to just go for... Oh, excuse me. I'm very sorry about that. Hiccups. They got me. We can go for a nice bleed on the doctor, and she's able to inflict very high damage, but she's not going to kill one on her own. Oh wait, no, she can. For some reason, I thought these things had 10 HP, not... Okay. Alright. So, let's go for a nice close-range melee attack on this one.
Executed with impunity.
So if we go for an area of effect attack here, that'll definitely kill this one in the front. What's the chances to hit? 75%. Our Jester is only able to do a bleeding attack. Now the speed on each of these enemies is 3. Most of our characters are 7, except for our Hellion here, Baldry. So I'm wondering, I'm considering my Jester's moveset, and if the damage modification is minus 50%, his base damage is, let's see, 4 to 7. So it's really unlikely that he's going to be able to kill either of them. But if I go for an area of effect attack, it might weaken them just enough for him to be able to finish one off. Oh. Oh dear. Oh well. It still resulted in a kill anyways, so... So... I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the stress on this character. Alright, so she's got a buff that's gonna reduce the incoming stress, so that's okay. So this will definitely kill, and it might kill this one. Going for multiple kills is good. Most of the time in Darkest Dungeon, it's best to focus as much damage as you can on one target. Ooh! Well, make me eat my words, game. Cut that stress down nice and sharply.
Beyond one's limits.
We might catch a disease from maggots hitting us, but that's okay. As enemies do attacks in this game, if you look in the little stat sheet on the bottom right corner, you can see that the skills get moved to be visible now. And Grave Nibble is the only skill that they have, but it also shows you a symbol of what status ailments that the enemy inflicts. And on the left you can see resistances, so it's quite easy to understand what they inflict. That little black symbol with the 3 prongs inside of the ring is stress. So any enemy that has a stress attack is immediately your top priority, because you don't want stress in Darkest Dungeon. HP damage, you can deal with that, but the stress, that will end your run.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
I noticed that I left a sarcophagus back there, and I'll talk about that when I come back towards it.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and cleanse this Iron Maiden with some medicinal herbs. Hey, a little bit of gold. Slightly more than we spent to get those herbs in the first place. 100% worth. Now, that sarcophagus, as I said in a previous playthrough, or previous video, not playthrough, this is my first playthrough, probably the only one I'm going to be doing up on YouTube, unless people ask me to do certain stuff in the comments. I'm going to see if I can remember. I wonder if you can use the shovel on the sarcophagus? No, nothing. Yeah, if I remember correctly, most of the time there's just bad shit that could happen to you from this sarcophagus, and there's nothing that you can use to really do anything about it. And my characters are not so healthy, so I'm not gonna play with that thing. Food. Hungry hippos. I've gotten 3 food checks before I've even gotten halfway through the dungeon. And I've only eaten a little bit.
Mechanical hazards, possessed by evil intent.
That's also very unfortunate that I had to run into a trap like that. But you know what? Sometimes you just get disrespected and there's nothing you can do about it. Kind of like my healer got disrespected in the first dungeon. Bitch slapped repeatedly. Okay, so there's a trap in this direction. We'll save that trap for a little bit of stress relief on Dismas later on. Gonna go this way, see if we can find any loot. The Highwayman deals the most damage in the game, but right now we can't really get the skills that we need access to. We're kind of stuck with the default skills they gave us in the beginning, and the rest of the characters that you recruit from the stage wagon have random skills, so I think I'll give the damage bonus to... Hold on. There could be another curio that needs this holy water. So I suppose I'll just take the flat damage buff. Yeah. It's 30% damage if I use the holy water. What could possibly go wrong if I just touch it? A lot.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Alright, so we got a couple of fights left over. I'm really hoping that we don't have many. And you see, I could have rested sooner, but you see how many hunger checks I got? I brought all of the food that we possibly could. And yes, granted, I did eat a little bit, but, you know, our troops would be in quite a bit of a pickle if I didn't eat a little bit, just a little munch, tiny nibble. But, holy hell. We went through all of the food, all of it, every last scrap. Alright, so we're gonna get this bone courtier's H. Oh!
Decimated.
Give me some skin for that, Dismas, man! High fucking five! Hell yeah, Plague Doctor. Right, so, this cultist brawler, when he's at rank 3, meaning rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, from left to right with the enemy's order, he will do a stumbling scratch, which is pathetic in damage and accuracy compared to his rend for the old gods that he can only do while he's in rank 1 and 2. The Bone Defender in rank 3 and 4 also has the same effect of being able to only do very weak, poor, and pathetic attacks when he's out of position. So these two, if I'm lucky, will continuously push each other out of position, because the speed on this Bone Defender is 0, and this Cultist Brawler is 5. So they'd have to get some very specific rolls in order to get back into position. Otherwise they're going to keep knocking each other out of position, and we can keep wailing on them. I want everyone on my team to go first, next turn, before all of their troops. So, I'm gonna Battle of the Ballad, buff our speed up. There we go. Stumbling Scratch, and now Clumsy Accident. And as you can see, their attacks move them forward to help them get back into position. But in this case, it's actually in my favor because it's pushing them out of position repeatedly. Excellent. Nah, I'm not gonna get greedy and try to heal for 1 HP. I was thinking about it for a second, but no, it's not worth it. She can cure herself of bleed and blight with the adrenaline rush, but it's better if we just make them bleed instead. You go for the kill. Yeah, pathetic damage. I'm not going to use this ability because it'll clear the corpse and help the enemies out. I don't want to help them out at all. Gonna let that cultist bleed to death and continue reducing our party's stress. Dismas is looking a bit weary here, and I'm not liking that. Oh!
Power.
Handled like a professional. Let's see if we can get the kill on this Cultist Brawler and perhaps get a little bit of stress off of our Plague Doctor as a result. Yes! And that sweet, sweet stress relief.
These
feels great, man.
Creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
You know, thinking back in retrospect, I probably should have used the bandage, but I'm so used to the bleed stacking up so much. Or wait, when did I get bleed? I can't remember, it's a blur. Man, YouTubers really have it hard, don't they? I'm wondering what I should throw away here, because I definitely need all of the heirlooms I can get my fingers on. Maybe it wouldn't have been such a bad idea to actually get that damage buff until we camped a bigger one. Maybe I will throw the bandage away. Man, I should have used it sooner and prevented some of that damage. Definitely got bled out a couple of times. I can remember it, but not when. So these jades can be more valuable than citrines. I think that they drop more often than citrines. So if you look at the maximum stack size for gold, it's 1,750 unless you have an antiquarian. So the citrines max out at 5 per stack. Most gems do. So you can get more money potentially if you stacked a jade than you would a bunch of citrines. Jesus, I was about to say every word except for citrine. I was about to say pristine, Christine, hello Christine. Alright, let's continue. Oh? Hey! Hey! Plague Doctor! No! No! Okay. I guess it's not so bad, considering the fact that you have so many bonus damage skills that you might actually inflict more than one damage. Okay. So, let's check the speed of our enemies first. Even though we surprise them, we all go first. But that means they all get their turns at the same time next. Which means we are gonna really pay for it if we screw this up. So, let's think here. I know that Battle of the Ballad is basically my only choice here with the Jester. So, the speed of this Brigand Bloodletter is 1. Speed of this Brigand Cutthroat is 3. And Fusilier is 6. So this guy in the back is going to be the fastest. Whereas this guy in the front is the slowest. Now this guy in the front can inflict bleed and stress damage. So he's a pretty high priority target for us. But both of these guys in the back are also kind of weak, so they might be able to get killed pretty quickly. And Dismas is not looking so good at 11 HP. And they're probably going to focus him down if I let things get out of hand. So I'm probably going to drink this holy water to make sure that he doesn't get a bleed status ailment, because that is very dangerous if he does. Alright, so let's buff everybody's speed up. I wonder, perhaps, if I shoot him and then use... Let's check. I'm thinking about Iron Swan and then if it bleeds. If it bleeds is able to hit the middle 2 ranks. Iron Swan is able to hit the back rank. She can do 8 to 15 damage direct. The Plague Doctor will inflict 1 or 2 damage. Plus 4 if she gets the Blight. So that's 5 or 6. This guy has quite a bit of HP. Both of them have the same amounts. But I'm thinking that since his speed is significantly higher, he's the bigger threat because he's likely to be able to go a second time before we can finish him off. So I'm gonna give this guy a little love tap to his face.
The ground
I said a little love tap, Dismas. Jesus Christ. Ooh, the guy in the back resisted it. So we're going to need a pretty hard hit here to finish this guy off. Hard hit, we have got it.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Ooh! Oh, Lord. Jesus. That hurt really bad. I really want to stun him right now, and I forgot to use the holy water on Dismas. That's a misplay on my part, but hey, it didn't work out badly. So, well, I mean, I guess it kind of did work out badly. We've got a hero that's about to go on death's door. Alright, so this Brigand Bloodletter, he's going to have a lot of HP. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference right now if we don't stun him. But if we do stun him, we can inflict damage for an additional turn before he dies. Something that you guys should know is enemies that take up 2 slots, like this big fat guy here, are considered, for the lack of better words, champion enemies. And while a champion enemy is present, you won't get penalized for stalling for time, because those specific enemies can inflict so much damage that you can't sit there and cheese some heals out. Basically. Damn! Alright, now I definitely need that holy water on my Hellion. It's very likely that she's gonna go first because of the buffs that we have for speed. Speed in the middle of a round makes no difference. It's only at the end of a round, or when a new round starts, when speed actually matters. So buffing speed while we're doing all of this, it's not going to make a difference of whether you get to go first or not during that round. The next round, though, it will. I think that going for the bleed will be a better effect, because it's going to take more than 1 round to kill this guy. And 5 to 10 versus 8 to 15. I suppose that, actually, you know what? He doesn't have any protection, does he? I guess it's better to straight up go for the damage then. We hit max damage, that made it worth it. Please don't bleed. Oh, thank God. Holy water. OP. Alright. Starting to feel quite sad that I got rid of that bandage. Ha! Maybe you might need a bandage, nerd! Alright, so let's heal our HP.
The slow death, unforeseen, unforgiving.
Alright, so, first things first. We managed to get through the entire mission without taking our campfire, but we're going to use that. I didn't camp earlier because I was afraid to use up too much food.
Waiting to be spent.
Now that we don't have that problem, so we're going to use this 100% trap disarm chance. Different characters have different chances to disarm. The Highwayman or the Rogue type classes tend to have the highest chances. Alright, so I'm just going to take a peek what's out here. And then I'm going to go back and rest.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
If we eat 4 food, I'm afraid that we might get a hunger check right here and starve. So I'm gonna eat only 2 food, just 2. And now it's time to use, first things first, we have respite, and that will give us an amount of time that we have to rest. First thing I'm gonna do is prevent a nighttime ambush. Now, you guys may say it would be more worth it to rest earlier in the mission, but again, I'd had no idea. Look how much food we have left. Enough for 1 hunger check. I would have been very tempted to do a feast to reduce everyone's stress and eat 8 food, but we would have starved twice now, and we would have been in some deep shit if I would have rested too soon. Alright, so we need some HP, but we also want to make sure we erase as much stress as possible for this mission. So let's do a little bit of checking each party member's status and what they may do. She can self-medicate to heal, reduce our stress, remove bleeding and blight. First thing, yeah, let's prevent the nighttime ambush. Now these are party buffs that you can see in the top left corner of the screen. and they go away as you do battles, but at least we won't get surprised anymore. This could have increased my damage sooner, but I had that buff on 2 characters where my damage was increased until I camped. Alright, so let's get some healing vapors on her because we want to restore 50% of our health. And let's see. So these bonuses right here where it says if afflicted, that doesn't mean it actually gives less. That means it's an additional bonus. So if somebody is afflicted, it's minus 45 stress instead of minus 30. And I always actually misunderstood that until I used it for the first time and saw a massive stress piece just melt off of my character. So that was really nice. So I think that we can do a little bit of stress relief. We can afford just a... Oh wait, no, we've only got 4 time units left. We got to think about this wisely then. I could have used the large heal on this character, Dismas, and then used a small heal on the Hellion, but she would have been left even worse off. She would have been left with a tiny amount of HP. It would have been great if we could have healed him, Dismas, but I don't know. It's tough, and we can choose to go home right now, but I'm greedy. So sad that I can't heal just myself.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Did I wash this needle? Oh well, too late now. Guess you're infected with the Crimson Curse. Quaff this tonic, it restores the humors. The doctor got some weed on her? Give me some prescription medication, doctor.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
We have no more torches. Please, give us a scout. No scout? Alright. You know what? It's not worth it. We're leaving. We're done. I'm not fighting in the dark.
The great ruins belong to us.
I'm greedy, but I'm not stupid.
Whatever secrets they hold.
Whatever gold we gain is going to get spent right up with all of the stress that we gain. Alright, so we got a fat stack of 11,000 gold from that. And we got a wonderful poisoned herb for the Plague Doctor. Alright, so let's check out our traits that we received. Plutomania, Torn Rotator, the Yips. Oh, my heroes. Please.
Though long years may seek to separate them, action and consequence will invariably have their dreadful reunion.
Okay. A maddening whine. Intolerable! Clouds of mosquitoes and other less identifiable pests continue to descend upon the hamlet with maddening persistence. Illness and irritation abound. Right, so we're gonna wrap this video up with a little bit of macro management. Manslayer, Natural Swing. Skilled Gambler, Eldritch Hater, Hylomania. The Abomination is quite a powerful creature. Very, very powerful. He's even got a good trait too. 10% damage if the torch is above 75. And I love keeping my torch nice and high. Weak grip though is pretty serious. Stress relief activities though, as a negative quirk, aren't so bad. You can deal with that. That can be very, 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 very well dealt with. An additional Vestal would definitely take the pressure off of one being alone, so I can use multiple and different party compositions, and that is a very popular character, so I think I'm going to take
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
And she's also got most of the skills that we'd start with well, and this Mace Bash isn't the worst in case she gets shuffled out of position, so she's not defenseless if she gets pushed into rank 1 by a surprise. We've got another Hellion here who's got Spiritual, Hagiomania, and Fear of the Unholy. I think I'm going to take the Abomination, because they start with all of their skills unlocked. But it's not just that, but it's their skill set, their very, very strong skill set that allows them to deal very, very high amounts of damage, especially when it comes to blighting enemies repeatedly. The Farmstead would greatly appreciate one of
Tortured
these.
and reclusive. This man is more dangerous than he seems.
Do we need an additional Plague Doctor? There's no shame in just taking her now. Because I could always just kick her back out again if I don't want this. So I'm definitely gonna take one of these heroes. I think there might be more party compositions that I need the Hellion in than I need for the Plague Doctor. Because the Hellion is such a strong frontline unit that she can hit every tile, all 4 ranks from the first rank. And even if she's not in the first, if she's in the second rank, she can hit the front 3 very reliably. Good damage. And bleed. Let's look at this other stuff. Oh, we've got the guild unlocked.
Make no mistake. We will face ever greater threats. Our soldiers must be ready.
Alright. That's excellent. And we have the blacksmith.
The bellows blast once again. The forge stands ready to make weapons of war.
Let's have a look at what missions we can do. The farmstead offers a nice sum of gold. Oh, the thronging hives. We're gonna have to wait till we get a stronger party for this. For that. So we can go to the Weald and acquire a Defender's Seal. We may acquire more deeds. We need that. We definitely need those. Quickening Satchel. We don't even have a Grave Robber yet. All of these are short quests. A Scouting Whistle would be a magnificent item, but it only activates that scouting chance if the torch is below 51. Which means it would have to be quite dark for it to regularly happen. And plus you get a 25% chance when the torch is at its maximum. So I'm thinking maybe we are going to either go to the Weald or the farmstead. If we go to the farmstead, that will open up a few missions to macro up our characters. Alright, so our Plague Doctor versus this one. Guilty Conscience and Ruminator. Scientific. She has such good skills. We only have 8 people right now. If we were to make 2 party compositions, I know the first party composition that I'd make is my favorite. Crusader, Highwayman, Doctor, and then a Vestal. But then what would we have next? A Hellion, Abomination, Jester, Vestal? So maybe in an order that looks something like this. Perhaps that could work. Mayulan. Alright, well, you know what? In the darkest dungeon, I plan on using Hellions more than once, so let's get a good one right now while she's... Yeah, let's get a good one now.
Barbaric rage and unrelenting savagery make for a powerful ally.
Alright, so I'm thinking that either here in the Weald or a farmstead mission. Let's go to the farmstead. But should we do it with this team? Let's have a look-see at people's skills. First and foremost, I think that decreasing the cost of skills is going to be very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Some may fall, but their knowledge lives on.
So, weaponsmithing level 1. Alright, so I'm not able to upgrade any of this without some more deeds. I believe that I may trade busts for deeds. So let's do that.
Fan the flames, mold the metal. We are raising an army.
Oh, wow. Too many deeds. Alright, so if I trade 1 portrait for 3 busts, 3 busts would get me 1 deed? Nah, that's wasteful. I guess I'll just take the 3 deeds. Yeah, for 2 portraits, 3 deeds. Let's get it. And discount.
A sharper sword, a stronger shield. Anything to prolong a soldier's life.
Alright, so my Jester I don't think his damage boost would entirely affect. No, it's alright to use Harvest, and then my other character here will be using Bile, so we'll just be slashing them apart and vomiting on them repeatedly. Yeah, sounds like a really disgusting team. I'm gonna save some money and not upgrade the Jester's weapon, but those upgrades are going to be very handy later on. Alright, so let's get Breakthrough with our Hellion. Oh, wait. Hold on. Breakthrough. You can change these skills during a dungeon, but you cannot change them during a fight. Alright, so we're gonna take this skill and get a stun for our Vestal. Excellent. Got all of our skills, and we're gonna get the Jester here. With his current group, I suppose that getting some anti-shuffle would be very good for this character, but getting Slice Off will allow me to unequip this Finale, and I know that I'm definitely going to underutilize Finale because of, well, right now we don't have any boss enemies that we need to use. Oh god, excuse me. I'm so sorry. We don't have any boss enemies that we need to use it on right now. Alright, so we've got a team organized. And the guild, we've gotten double discounts, and that's going to help save money for being able to upgrade this next team. So, I'm gonna cut it off here, and the next mission that we will be doing is the farmstead. We'll get started on that place and get it moving in there. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching me suffer. Until next time of Darkest Dungeon.